All right, well, thank you guys. My name is Patrick Hammons. I work at Esri. I was a fellow in 2015, so I'm really excited to be here. I'm raising my company sponsors it. It means I get to hang out with my community. Like it's the summit and Congress. It's like coming home with family, so it's like really nice. I'm from Philly. Did some code in Philly for a while, not as much anymore, but we're still pretty tight. And we're going to talk today about the thing that I work on now. So when I left Code for America, I joined Esri to work on this thing called the Hub, which we'll talk a little bit about it, but it started as open data. And so I guess it's our most civic techy thing we do at Esri. We're going to be talking today. I want to give a quick intro to Esri because it's an interesting company. There are people, like, if you say Esri to people, they have no idea what you're talking about, or they have a very good idea what you're talking about, and they have very strong opinions about it. I don't. And so it's good to level set. I'm sure there's a lot of people that already know all of what I'm going to say, but I'll just try to level set going in. And then we're going to talk about the actual thing, which is Hub, and kind of how we went from open data and where we went with Hub. And then I'm going to start showing what you can actually do with Hub to organize communities. So first, intro to Esri. Esri is really old. It started in 1969. It was a husband and wife team, Jack and Laura Dangerman. When Jack finished college, came back to Redlands, California, where he was raised, and he started an environmental consultancy business called Environmental Science Research Institute. It started as a consultancy to work with nonprofits and governments around some of their environmental work. It quickly became a software company, so applying kind of 80s computer science concepts at the time. Met some folks from MIT, brought on board, started applying that to geographic problems. What that did is it created a bunch of spatial and analytic tools that are really, really powerful, and packaged into a thing called GIS, which is a Geographic Information System. There's whole people that's their entire thing they do in college is GIS, and people's entire jobs are GIS. So a few things, independently owned, never taken on any outside investment, so it's still owned by the same two people that started in 1969, and it's all about this slow growth thing. Never really tried to grow on fire in terms of increasing value year over year, way a lot of tech companies do, which means we're able to work with who we want to work with. We don't have to. We're not holding the shareholders, we're not holding the VC. So we still, most of our customer base work in nonprofits or gov agencies. And it's all about solving these complex global problems that I'm sure we all think about all the time, by applying this thing that we've called the science of where, which is just a fancy way to say applying spatial analysis to issues. But if you ask, well, what Esri's known for, this is what we're known for. This is a screenshot of our most popular software, which is called ArcGIS Pro. It used to be called ArcMap, and now it is ArcGIS Pro. I don't know if you can look at the interface too much, but this is a very complex interface. It's for professionals, for people who went to school for this. It's pretty cool. You can do so much stuff with it, but it's not necessarily the most, if you gave this to someone who had never used the software before, it would take a long time to get to just make a basic map. It takes me a long time to make a basic map sometimes, but I don't use it all the time. That said, it's for GIS professionals. Well, what you see here is also a map. And there is so much data that goes into making a map between all the elevation information in the background, ownership parcels. This is actually about, it's like routing, so there's the actual thing that they're mapping. But it's a very dense infographic informational product, right? And we very quickly, as soon as we started doing more web offerings, we very quickly got into open data. So this Cuyahoga County open data site. We make this. This is our software, and Cuyahoga County makes it. But this is the software behind it, and the reason why we got into open data, most open data programs start with a ton of GIS data. So what that means is people that our main customer base, GIS professionals, they manage things that are core to the open data movement. If you look at most open data sites, it's usually on the order of 50 to 80% geographic information. So what we did is we added open data on top of ArcGIS Online. It comes free with the organizational subscription. You just turn it on, and then you get KML files, shape files, GeoJSON, CSV, just kind of automatically. It's our ETL tool in the back end called Coop. And it's all about kind of releasing data sets. But how do we get to Hub? So first thing, ArcGIS Hub is a product statement. Easy to configure cloud platform for organizations to collaborate with their communities to accomplish information-driven initiatives. So when we started open data, it got really successful. We have like over 10,000 open data sites across the world. This is kind of the spread. This has actually been updated recently, but this is a good idea of this part of the world section. Very successful people turning on open data sites. They look like this. What we saw is a lot of our customers, they started with this. They created this open data site. This is DC's open data site. But very quickly, with our site building tools, they started getting into this. Same thing. It's using a lot of the same tools in the back end, but it has nothing to do with open data. It's about the work that the mayor is doing in the city of DC. So when we saw our customers doing this, we started realizing that data is it's a means, but it's not the end. It's a great first step. But the real mission of this whole open data work is to connect with the community. So that's where Hub came in. So we've been starting to, Hub is basically open data with a bunch of community engagement features added on top, and we're expanding this all the time. But first, before I start getting into the actual thing, exciting news! Brigades, for at least the next year, can use Hub for free. We just got a donation set up. Yeah. Very excited it all went through. We got it set up and agreed to donate to Code for America. Code for America is going to own the actual license, and then any brigade can spin up a site and start making websites. So the actual mechanics about that, Tom is managing that, so afterwards we'll talk through that. So I'm going to show all the stuff that you're going to be able to do for free this next year. So, what the Hub can help you do? First thing, if you can create a pretty website. So if I can get my stuff out of the way. This is the Hub. This is what the interface looks like. You see a few things. All content is basically where like open data stuff would go. Initiatives is what you use to create a site. So it's at the end of the website, but we're calling it an initiative because it's supposed to be more operationalized. And then community is where a lot of your community features end up going. So if I want to create a new Hub site, a new initiative, I click new. I go, let's say I'll call it Code for Grittyville. I'm from Philly, so everything in my life is about gritty. Create an initiative. So it's doing a lot of things that aren't just mine right now on the back end. Creating a group, which is how you manage permissions, and creating a site, and making all those connections on the back end. Cool, so you have a quick website. First thing I'm going to do, I change this. Oh, it's.
It says the default Grittyville picture right there.
Is the, yeah. All right, so if I go in here and click that little gear icon, I can image URL, or I can upload. So I'm going to just directly upload one. And we get my drag and drop guy. Actually, it's a little easier when I put things on here. All right. All right, we got gritty. So now, if I want to change the appearance, there's a few options down here. There's a focal point section. I can adjust it as I see fit. If I'm really into parallax, I can turn on fixed background, so I'm going to do that. And some other stuff, image transparency, I could, if I have like a one to add, just adjust it like, I think it looks good the way it is now. Cool. Next thing I'm going to do is, this doesn't look very gritty because it's blue and white, and that's not greatest colors at all. So we're going to go into the theme builder. I'm going to start changing some of these colors. So I'm going to do the little nav. I'm going to do that with a nice orange color because obviously gritty is primarily orange. Turn it into a buntu. Oh, is it going to look like a buntu? That's funny. All right, now let's change. Change this guy to the same color. Actually, sorry. Go back to the theme. And grab that color. And go edit this here. Is that in? Cool. It's already looking a little more gritty. I want to make this black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the theme builder again. Change the header background color to black. Change the text color to white. Kind of automatically did that, which is cool. I could also go in here and add a logo if I wanted to up to the top. There's all information about how you can set up a custom domain. Right now, this is the URL it has. It's not like the prettiest URL, but support custom domains, so it's pretty easy to set up. You can subdomain settings there, and I can change the favicon. There's Google Analytics as well, so if you wanted to actually track who you're using the sites, it's supported directly in there. Cool, so that was pretty good for a first go. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to change the fonts. These fonts are pretty boring for a character like this guy. So this is the base font. So I'm going to go to Google Fonts. I'm going to pick out a font that will look good just for base stuff. So it's going to go everywhere in the site. So when you create a new page, you create an event, that's going to be the base font throughout. So I'm going to do a sans for the base. Let's do. Anyone have a pick one out?
Ubuntu.
Okay. It's keeping up this. We're making Ubuntu site now, I guess.
Where
is it?
It's right there. It's like,
There you go.
There it is.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to add it. Open this up. I'm going to grab just up until it says Ubuntu. Copy this in. Add this in. Name it Ubuntu. Hit preview, make sure it works. And it worked. That should, yeah, cool. The font changed. And now we're going to change the header, which is the fun one. And so we're going to get super fun. I'm going to do like a handwriting one. Alright, so we'll pick one out.
Permanent marker.
Cool. I'm glad we're on the same page. When I was trying this out ahead of time, I picked that one too, so. Great minds.
Just before marker felt.
Alright, and then new permanent marker.
I think that's the font I used for my tattoo.
Alright. It's
Yeah, it is.
Look how good it is.
Now that I look at the T and the I, I'm like, oh man.
It's really funny. It's really good. Alright, so that was the first step. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to a place for a community connect. So, if you want to actually, you can actually check this out on your phone. You can see the whole following thing. bit.ly/Greenville. I have to make it public real quick. So the way I do that, come in here, make it public. It's saved. I haven't saved my changes, so it should show up now. If you open it on your phone, it's all responsive, it's mobile friendly. We've invested a lot of effort on that end as well. So if I get a couple people to follow, I can show kind of what happens in the back end. If I go to community, I don't know how many followers you guys. Did anyone follow it yet? Did you find it?
I found it.
What's the link? Oh,
It doesn't seem safe though. It's still showing buildings, not gritty.
Really? Well, that's fun.
What does following mean? Why would I follow gritty?
Follow?
Well, I would follow gritty anywhere, but why would I follow that code for Grittyville?
You go back to the
So-
going to this part.
Yeah, so the idea behind this is, so let's say you create, like, we were going to plant 1,000 street trees over the next year. I am a citizen of X city, I want to follow that mission because I care about street trees. At the bottom here, there's a section that says follow. You can look at that here. Did you guys see that yet? If at least one person can click follow, I can show this.
So follow that. There it
You
is.
go to the URL.
I'm hitting follow right now.
Okay.
You go to the
You
URL.
said it's RxS view.
So when you click follow, what ends up happening, let me,
Okay, it's asking me to create a code.
yep, so if you go in and you go to follow, we can walk this together. You can either sign up for one just on your own, on this bottom here, or you can sign in with Google or Facebook, depending on your feelings about that.
Yeah.
I'll do Google real quick.
We all have some,
Again.
well, most of
I'm following Greenville.
I'm following it now.
Oh.
Alright, I'll do this real quick. 2. it's still very good and secure. I mean, I guess this is great. All right, so now I've followed it. I have a username. I'm gonna just accept these accounts. This is just like a random environment. I'll delete you guys afterwards. I'm not gonna be pinging you about anything. It's cool. So I created that account and close this out now. Now if I go to my community, hit the edit pencil to get back into edit, get to community. Oh my gosh, I got 3 followers. Look how many followers I have, guys. And let's say I wanted to quickly email them about upcoming stuff. I can do that right here. I can also remove them, so I'm going to go ahead and remove myself because I did not consent to following that. Hey, get out of here. Yes. All right, now we've got an email with us. Oh my god, I'm getting so many followers. This is great. All right, and the other thing is, if I go back to the overview, and I go to my community, I can start seeing all the people that follow initiatives across the entire hub. So if like someone else has been spun up a new initiative, I can see who's followed that as well. And you can see you're in here. I can start filtering it out based on that, although that's weird. It's always great to find bugs in your demoing. I should have worked right there, but it did not. Cool. I can also get data information about how things are growing in the order. I can see who's commented on things if I enabled it, and I can do kind of a basic administrative work from here as well.
So, just geospatial data or any kind of data?
It's any data. So it doesn't have to be geospatial necessarily. It can be like just a dead CSV. And I can show real quick too what that looks like on like DC's site real quick. Empty search. Crash DC. It's a really big data set. So it's not going to load everything right away.
So that's the tabular data
This
set.
is tabular data, yeah. And if I go back to the search, I can actually just get CSV information from it.
Wow.
They've made their analytics public, which is cool.
But if I'm not mistaken, so if it's close enough to like ArcGIS online, then it means you can also, because that's what that looks like, right? It means you can also see, you can also get it in JSON as well, right?
Yeah,
ArcGIS layers and stuff like that.
yeah, you can see it automatically goes to GeoJSON.
GeoJSON, GeoService.
And we're always talking about JSON as well. We actually, this is like a kind of random side, but every site at the end for its data, this is all of the data that's shared to it. So if you want to integrate with like an existing, if you had an existing open data site in your community, like with a CCAN or something like that, you can just plug that in and it would go right to it. So we have a lot of people that have ArcGIS hub site that then powers their open data site because of whatever reason, like they might have an open source requirement for their open data site or something like that. Cool. So that's that first thing. Next thing we're going to do is schedule an event. So I'm going to go back to Gradyville. Find my initiative here. Go for Gradyville. Go to events. Alright, so first thing I do, I got to do a quick administrative thing, get started. A lot of that backend stuff's happening right now. It's creating a feature service to hold all the data. It's creating some groups around it. So once that's done, we can start showing an event real quick.
I hope you realize you just replaced Meetup.
They just changed their pricing too, right?
Yes,
Their pricing.
Yeah. What time? Alright, so I'm going to quickly create an image to this guy. Alright, this is the event. Greedy costumes are like the most horrifying thing. What kind of greedy? Alright, so see my horrible costume.
You can see his eyes.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yes, it's working. Yes, it's working. Just in time to check out my sweet pretty costume. And let's see. So it adds me so I can add other organizers if I have other people in my work. So I'll add Tom right now. Cool. Tom's gonna help me organize this. I'm not gonna add his email.
Like gleefully horrifying.
Oh yeah. I got sponsors, we have sponsors here, and I can set up I'm gonna say Wells Fargo Center. That's where the Flyers play, if anyone wants to know. And sure, we'll just say it's happening today from 4 to 7. Hit publish. I'm going to say public.
You need to actually.
Oh, what did I do?
There's a
You put
sponsor.
sponsor and then you put empty. You have to like put an X, you click the X or something.
No, you're right.
I also have to have a thing.
That's fine. Okay.
You needed to put it something by me.
Huh? Oh, I have to?
Apparently.
All right. Whatever. At gmail.com.
And you actually verify the email address.
Cool. So it's published. I can share this out on Twitter or Facebook or.
Oh my god.
Mode switch, chill out.
You made it so long.
What happened?
Mode switch.
You were green.
Yeah, unplug it.
Oh yeah. I should have done this in a gritty costume. That would have been like next.
There you go.
Let's get this loading at some point.
There we go.
Cool. And so it just has a quick link to.
Why did it mode switch though?
I can tweet directly from wherever I want to. I'm not going to. And yeah, and then people could come here and attend. If you actually went to this site, let's see. If I actually just grab it. Good. I'm seeing a look. I say costumer. That's funny. And then I can come in here and attend the same way as I followed, basically. Cool. So now, what are we gonna do next? Cool, email followers. I actually kind of already did that, so we can skip that part. You saw that whole flow. And collaborate. So the other thing. So let's say you have people in your community. So you're adding people that go to your code for Philly, show up code for Philly, and you want to make sure that they can help edit sites or they can help do some of this work as well. So I could go in here to my.
I think you also use JPEG.
If I go into the edit view, and then I come up to Teams, I click Teams, I can start adding people to be able to edit the site. So I'm going to go to my community, I'm going to say Tom. I'm going to say Tom and Nick can help edit the site.
Oh, it's all over.
Oh yeah. Cool, and so they accept that, and then they can actually help me on this stuff.
So that will work with the city as well? Like if the city has a Esri enterprise account, they can be invited to help work on the hub as well?
Yeah, there's a few ways to do that. They would be, so the way we have teams right now set up is that you have your organization. So there's two, a little bit of architecture. There's two ArcGIS Online organizations involved here. There's the organization, like my organization, which is what Tom's gonna own, and then you're gonna be added to as users. And then there's a community organization. The community organization is for just the general community to be able to come and follow things. That also comes with ArcGIS Online access. On some level, you can assign credits, you can give them access to normal ArcGIS Online stuff, including spatial analysis tools, which is pretty cool. But so there are two orgs that are connected. It's through like a shared, or it's through like a trusted connection. And that's what connects it here. If you have another org, right now we don't have great org-to-org sharing. You can do it in the back end in ArcGIS Online by adding them to that group. We don't have that interface yet. But that's the way you end up doing that. Yeah. And this is originally made for cities to do, but we're spinning it out to the brigades right now just to see what you all do with it.
So, say for example, my county has its own ArcGIS Online account, and that's where they're keeping all their official geospatial resources. I could use some of their geospatial resources in my products from ArcGIS Hub, or sorry, what do you call this again, Hub? So my Hub account, which for now is free for the brigade, I could use some of their products in my account.
Yeah, if they share that content to the initiative, and you're a part of that initiative, then yes, you would have it in your stuff to use.
So, but they just have public data sets.
Yeah,
and I
it's
could
probably posted,
Oh, it's publicly posted already. Then you can just do that already. So if I go to DC's open data set again, I'm going to click a random data set. I'm going to say create a web map. That opens up ArcGIS as a web map viewer, and then I can sign in and start doing stuff here. Right now, I can just make a map on the fly if I wanted. Let's see.
So,
I'm gonna do
where's that?
total households just for.
Oh my god. It's
Yeah, dude.
change resolutions. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Maybe that little converter thing is kind of cool. Or
Oh, the dongle guy, maybe.
is that USB-C or Thunderbolt?
It's USB-C.
Gosh.
Do you want one? Yeah, one.
Yeah, that's all I think mine is Ethernet anyway, so. I'm gonna try this real fast.
Yeah, it's not loading. Wi-Fi's not.
If it goes out again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'll work.
Yeah, this one.
Cool. So once the slip map actually loads, what I would do is I would sign in using the credentials you signed up when you followed, and then you'd be able to start making maps. So.
So that's for a public organization. So something like HUD, I don't know. They have, I guess it'd be the same thing though, right? Because they haven't had ArcGIS. They've got some things published on there for opportunity zone. So that's up there.
Okay.
And it's a completely unrelated organization. We don't have to ask them permission, right then?
If they've released it publicly, then yeah, you don't have to ask permission. Let's see. There's also other features that are coming that I can show you real quick. This is like what my team works on, so I'm kind of excited to show it. Alright, so I'm going to go in, manage one of these initiatives and say, yeah, my last name's Hammons, and someone called me Hammons one time, and I thought it was hilarious. All right, so if I go into my content library, so this is where you do all your actual open data kind of work. And you can see there's only one data set right here, but what's coming very soon, in the next month, maybe month and a half, is this flow for adding content. So you don't have to go to ArcGIS one wall to add new information, which is pretty sweet. So if I wanted to take this service right here, I'm just going to go copy the link, go to new content, hit data. This interface is changing pretty soon too. This is a QA environment, so I just paste it in. It recognizes what it is, hit next, and then I can start actually doing all of the content management kind of stuff I need to do. Add a quick tag to it. This is going to be DC, let's say, property data, or something. And if it has a description of the service, it'll actually import it here. But for now, it's not imported. And then now that information is going to be, there's bugs. It's QA. But then it would show up here, and I'd be able to share it and do all of that work. So.
Something about myself.
What was that?
Do you have something defaulted to myself?
Oh, go back. You shared it with yourself?
Oh, yeah. So we have different sharing. So if you have like data you just want to have up for just while you're editing it, that's the default. And then you make it public or share it to your team or share it to your organization. So that's coming soon. It's not there now. So for now, you have to go to ArcGIS Online to add stuff. But we have added some free. So if I go back to my overview here, if you do need to go to ArcGIS Online, we do have like a quick way to do that. I've never seen that happen. What? Is it going to do it to me again? That's really annoying.
I wonder what kind of authentication you guys are using. Okay, sometimes it's an issue with Chrome itself.
Yeah, it might be that. Okay, now we're back in here. And I go to ArcGIS Online, sticking right to my content page, I can start adding data like the old-fashioned ArcGIS Online way. Not old-fashioned, but the hardcore way.
So you can upload shapefiles and GeoJSON.
Good. And also the other section I didn't talk about is that all content section. And this is showing every piece of content that's shared on websites throughout your organization. So if people are sharing data, you can come in here and fork it and add it to your own initiatives. Cool. So I think that's the actual it for formal stuff. But you know, we've got time to talk through stuff you guys want to talk about, like talk through planning and that kind of stuff. So it's open for everyone. Oh yeah, if you want to reach out, let me know for sure. Definitely, as with all software, there's issues, and so let me know. Yeah.
When you were building this, did you have in mind, just in terms of like working with communities, were you specifically thinking about like neighborhood associations or nonprofits, or so like what was kind of your audience, like group of audiences that might be?
Yeah, I think it started kind of like local governments was the first user group we were kind of thinking through, but we quickly were expanding that to nonprofits, neighborhood associations. A lot of planning departments use this product for similar work. Like Hoboken used it for they made a resiliency part.
Like,
so that
yeah, like our planning department has a comprehensive plan for the city, and then they have what are called small area plans that they basically collaborate with neighborhoods on.
yeah.
So like the Pearl District small area plan. So then you have a Pearl District neighborhood association that would be collaborating with the planning department working on the Pearl District small area.
Yeah.
So I could see this being used in those neighborhood associations where some more collaboration or better collaboration with the planning department could be useful.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know if like, I don't know if there's any other sort of groups or use cases that you might have gone through.
Yeah, I can
I
actually.
mean, the one I outlined was kind of obvious, right? But like, are there other sort of maybe non-obvious things that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a place on hub.arcgis.com/pages/gallery, and it has a lot of like live in the wild examples of people using Hub.
Gotcha.
So they've got like Arlington, Texas, uses it for some of their performance initiative work to publish their KPIs out. I can show some other things too, like I actually create like data visualizations on the fly. It's all using ArcGIS services on the back end, and it'll create charts and summary statistics and stuff like that. So I check.
Is that what some of OpenDC was using?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also embed iframes directly in, so if you have your own, preferred visualization method, we're pretty agnostic about that, so you can just iframe it right in. A lot of folks have done that for, like, they want to publish like a table of something that's posted somewhere else, they'll throw it in an iframe.
So wait, what is, aside from, so it seems a lot of organizations already, or a lot of cities already have Hub. So this is not that your product. How are they getting in?
Oh, that's a good question. So there's two flavors of Hub. There's Hub Basic, which is like the open data website building and pages, and that's kind of it. It's just like the get you started with open data basically. Okay. And then there's the premium capabilities, which are all the community management work.
Oh.
And we're growing that right now, which is one reason that we're doing it. Because we won't, like for us, having a group of people really pushing the limits of our community management features will make the software better. So it's kind of a beneficial relationship. So. Yeah.
Because we just had Esri come into our town this week, and we had a big Esri couple days.
Oh, geez.
And we are actually switching over to the premium version just so we can have that community piece. Because as I understand it, that we can actually share licenses or give some type of licensing to the community contributors, and that's why we're looking at the premium version.
Where are you from?
Chaplain.
Oh, cool. Thanks. North Carolina's been doing a lot of stuff. Raleigh was our first, the people that really pushed our sites to the point where we're like, oh, we really need to add like new features because they've been customizing now. Okay, well, let's make it
Yeah, they have a team of like 50 people. It's ridiculous.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that's kind of yeah.
So as like a user in the community, I think I might just be confused by all the different packaging.
Super confusing.
As a member of like the community, do you have the ability to like do HTTP puts to that data? Can you interact with the data that you're reviewing and give feedback on that data?
We have commenting features
Okay.
that we're building out. So it's where there's supposed to be, the idea is it's supposed to be like a live chat about things. So either I want to talk about this initiative, I want to look at this data set, whatever it is. So there's that. As far as putting into the actual data, like making updates to it,
Yeah.
it's through the
Or
ArcGIS.
submitting, I guess.
Yeah.
An updated something, some bit of detail on an existing, like what if something's
Like OpenStreetMap
incorrect?
stuff?
Yeah.
An OpenStreetMap.
Yeah.
I have like maybe a summary question. Like, could I, as someone that doesn't like, I don't know, that's like basically, or could I put something, some piece of data on a map and have it be a dot for everyone else to see? Is that
Yes.
what you're asking?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be able to collaborate with your community too, like, right,
Yeah.
that could be a valuable resource.
WMSs are editable.
Yeah.
You just got permission to do it.
Yeah. So to answer those questions, there's a lot of ways to do more direct community engagement like that. What also comes with this license we're donating is access to Survey 123, which is a survey form that creates a feature source in the back end. So you can publish that. Like, let's say you put on a map, you put survey responses. Every time someone submits that, it will show up on that. So you fill out a form, and then their data will be right there. The other thing is we have pretty full-fledged web app builder tools in ArcGIS Online that you also get access to. And that would be where, if you wanted to do more of a full, rich mapping experience, you'd create, there's like, what's it called? It's like crowdsource reporter. It's basically like it's a template of a web app builder application that you enable, and then you can start editing it and customizing it to fit your actual use case.
What's called crowdsourced?
It's called crowdsource reporter. It's a solution to
Is it
ArcGIS.
Union Data or Citizen Problem Reporter?
Something like that, yeah. So there's a lot of options that way. What I would end up doing, because I like the interface better, is like a survey. It's more, especially on my phone, I don't want to, like, we have a big problem with lantern flies in Philly, and the whole Northeast is getting like attacked with lantern flies right now. They're invasive species. And you can report them, but the app they used was like an old cut of a web app builder app that does not work great on phones. So I'm like at a party, I see a lantern fly, I try to take a picture, and I'm like, oh my god, my company made this thing, look at this. And it's like, crash it out. So I wish they had just made it a survey, because I could have just done it real quick. Like,
So-
what do you think?
So, okay, I have two
Yeah.
little things. So do you as a developer or designer have access to like local storage and like authentication type stuff? Not authentication, but so like you reviewing your followers. Like do you have session type settings and stuff like that?
Session type settings.
Like session, like
Session variables.
yeah.
He wants to make an app on top of his app.
So let me give you
Like analytics, you mean?
let me just explain why I'm asking this question.
That's good.
So chime in if you can. This is Michelle. I'm Austin. We are from Code for Indianapolis.
Cool.
And we're creating a resource application that is essentially a hub of sorts to be able to use that, like for all of these kind of disparaging bits of data to come together and be utilized for previously incarcerated individuals to have a better recidivism rate.
That's
Formerly
lower.
incarcerated people that have lower recidivism.
Better be
Still working on it.
Yes.
Is that a double negative?
Feels good, but go ahead, tell me.
But so we've kind of been working with excuse my French, with bastardized version of like Google Forms. Also, I'm just kind of like pulling
You're hacking together,
like
yeah.
Zoho, like Builder. We're trying to let go of this, hopefully in a way that like this can be one of our projects that we can go a little more hands off on and connect it with other things that we want to, because we haven't been around for very long.
Yeah.
And so we wanted it to be done in a way that wasn't far too complex to manage the data, because there has to be a validation side of these things to make sure they are valuable resources, because that is part of, like, as we talked about this weekend, is a lot of this data isn't reliable. And so the long term is hopefully we will have a Reddit style upvote, downvote, was this resource helpful to you? Type situation where we're not only giving people hopefully already validated information, but then allowing those individuals to revalidate that information and also like Google Forms, not a great situation for collecting data for hours of operation. There's no good way to do that in Google Forms.
Right.
So it's just stuff like, I'm almost like jumping through so many hoops just to put this thing together when I'm like, we might just want to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes sense. Yeah, I would recommend something like this, especially if you need kind of a full interface.
yeah. Well, this brings together a lot of the things
Right.
that we're looking for.
React Native, if you can. Did you say you better do this in React?
Well, like we've kind of gotten to the point where I'm jumping through so many hoops to pull this data all into this one place in a low-code situation that we're questioning the viability of it because we're trying to like not pay for it.
I recommend React Native. If you go to like snack.expo.io, it'll automatically set you up with like an interface and like a QR code to scan so you can run the app that you're developing on your phone. I'll show you that, but yeah, it's a
So this is with one of the crowdsourced kind of solutions that we put together. That you can just basically spin up and start editing and customizing here. It has some of that stuff, so you can like it, you can comment on it. You can see like if there's documents attached to it. This is like the idea of like public comment on a project, like a planning project or like a building project. And there's different cuts of this, so I would definitely recommend checking out that solution site. Just look up ArcGIS solutions or crowdsource reporter or something like that. You'll see stuff like this. It's using Web App Builder, which is like it's a way to make apps without having to code. And I don't know if you ever, so it kind of sucks sometimes. Creating ArcGIS apps is not the easiest thing all the time because it uses Dojo, and it's I don't know if any.
God, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to make up applications, so it's nice to not have to do that if possible.
What's the back end?
It's just JavaScript like Dojo. I mean, you're going back end for like the data.
The data, because you said that survey 1, 2, 3 can collect.
Yeah, it's a feature service. It's REST API. It's ArcGIS feature service is the actual back end, and it's a REST API. Query. Yeah. Again, very powerful. I'll say it's very powerful, and then also.
I think it gets into like the question of building it so that it can be shared around too. Like you didn't get into the whole hub configurable app concepts, but I mean basically the templated apps that can be deployed between different hub initiatives so that many different hubs can share the same app with their own local data.
Yeah. So just to introduce Nick, he's kind of a plant, but he's an awesome hub. He like, works with the community in Vermont, right? So he works with communities around building hubs, so he knows the hub pretty well. So, yeah.
Are any of these applications open source, like tracking construction activity or something?
Yeah, all the solutions are open source actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the solutions are.
No, that does sound to be a bit.
Let me see.
And when you download them, you get the source code.
It's on GitHub somewhere.
Yeah, it's on GitHub.
It's got to be on GitHub.
GitHub's Esri.
All of these are on GitHub?
Well, I mean, not every fingerprint is on GitHub, but a lot of the custom templates and stuff for solutions are on GitHub.
Yeah, we've got all the solutions are there. So the idea is you should be able to quickly spin them up and edit them as you see fit.
That tastes great.
There's a open source stuff from GitHub.
No, I did the wrong thing. I wanted to do the first one. Which can I search So yeah. Is it under what? Yeah. This is where it's at. This is all a lot of that stuff is here.
Solutions, web app builder? That's what you
Yeah.
call
I think that's where it's at.
I got you too.
We can help you find it.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have like that answer off the top of my head.
Then again.
We get about 15 minutes before that happens. So cool. There's a PDF talks about our GitHub offerings on.
Sweet.
So, it's pretty fun.
Cool. Two graphics card that's heating up, or that's what's causing the mode switch like that.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
So Patrick and Tom, are you compiling these resources together
Yeah,
to post on, maybe let's say discourse?
that's a great idea.
Yeah, take that to our city planning departments and say, let's
definitely.
collaborate on some cool neighborhood stuff, please.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So I think sort of the next step between us, so Patrick put together the presentation. I can document that on the Brigade website and on the discourse page. And
So if the talk was okay, then maybe we could use that.
might even have a recording. It'd be awesome.
And I took notes.
Sweet. And there's notes, so hopefully we can use that stuff to share with people who aren't here. And then I think I was able to set up an account with the organization thing. So I think I probably have all I need if anyone is interested in like trying this out to begin with and start to get some of those use cases. You're going to need to send me an email because I'll forget if we just talk about it. But send me an email and we can get it set up.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think we're talking about maybe doing like a webinar too. Once people are signed up and ready to go, I can do like a webinar and kind of walk through some of this stuff too.
Would love to. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for. I think we've had a lot of organizations sponsor Code for America events in the past, and I think I just want to say that I feel like this product is like genuinely useful to this audience. And like you guys, I don't know, that's my read on it. It's like, it's like there's a lot of like we've had So I feel like I feel super appreciative that you're here, able to share this with us, and making this like spending your day working on this product. So,
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, again, my email is up there, and my Twitter handle too, so if you guys want to. I'm also on the Code for America Slack, so that's under hand hands. Don't tell me.